When they were rolling me out of the gym, I felt like they were spinning me as fast as they could in circles. And then I felt like I was dry heaving and I couldn't throw up, but like my body was making the motion. My ears were ringing to the point where I thought my eardrums were gonna burst, and the light was so piercing. I'd never experienced anything like that, and just to experience all of those simultaneously, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Julia Scoles was a talented freshman at the University of North Carolina in 2016, on a trajectory for a successful indoor volleyball career.
Scoles gave it away, gets it back, and delivers the kill. And that is textbook what North Carolina loves to do when you've got someone who can jump out of the gym like Scoles.
The promise she displayed in her rookie season earned her ACC Freshman of the Year honors. But her volleyball career took a dramatic turn, however, when in the span of less than a year, Scoles suffered multiple head injuries, including 3 concussions. Her first and worst concussion occurred during a practice in the 2016 season.
I turned my body towards the ball and launched myself in its direction, and I was parallel to the ground, probably like 3 or 4 feet. My head smashed, my feet kind of went over my head, and then my head smashed again, and it hit my teeth first, and then my nose, and then my forehead. And I blacked out, and I remember when they tried to like bring me off the court, I was like in and out of consciousness, and the pain after that first impact was probably the worst thing I've ever experienced.
Despite the pain she suffered, Scoles was back playing volleyball in less than 3 weeks. She completed her rookie season, but suffered 2 more concussions in the following 8 months. It wasn't until her first day of classes sophomore year that she noticed something was seriously wrong.
And I remember trying to read a paragraph, and my eyes could not track the sentences. So I was looking at this paragraph, not being able to read, and that's when I was really freaked out and something's definitely wrong with me.
Her schedule quickly consisted of vision therapy and appointments with specialists. Her body struggled to regulate her heartbeat and sodium levels. Despite her competitive mindset, Scoles had to accept that she needed to recover while her teammates competed on the court.
I joked to my coach, I was like, I am a Division I doctor goer, because while you guys are in 20 hours a week, I'm in 20 hours a week of doctor appointments.
Along with debilitating physical symptoms, Scoles struggled mentally and emotionally. She developed suicidal thoughts and battled anxiety and depression.
It was honestly really hard because I didn't even know what I was dealing with. I felt like a shell of who I was before, and I wasn't able to interact with my friends in the same way. I didn't recognize my personality. I would have good days and good moments where there were glimpses, but most of the time it was just what is happening to me? I don't feel like myself. What is going on?
Scoles ultimately medically redshirted her sophomore season. After returning from Christmas break at the start of 2018, she had made progress in her recovery and was cleared to return to practice. The game, however, was never the same.
My first practice back, I got an intense migraine, and I went back to the doctors and got an IV for pain. And I just remember laying there I'm still not okay. I shouldn't be cleared. And I fully felt complete fear anytime I stepped on the court. And so I was no matter how much I love this sport, I can't come back. I knew that I never played a full practice of indoor again.
At a crossroads in her athletic career, it was UNC's beach volleyball club team that inspired her next move. The sand that sprawls across beach courts represented a solution. She could play the sport she loved in a safer environment. Following a mid-year recruiting process, Scoles ended up at the University of Hawaii, a refuge and facilitator for both growth and healing.
Ultimately, on my official visit, I just felt like that was where I was supposed to go, and I'm so thankful for my time there. And it was one of the most transformative years of my life, and I'm forever thankful.
Scoles was able to fully recover while at Hawaii and gain the necessary skills to compete at a high level in beach volleyball. After completing her bachelor's degree, she was once again on the move, searching for a university that gave her the opportunity to play beach volleyball while pursuing a master's degree.
I emailed different coaches in Southern California. SC has always been such a dream school. And I sent an email to Southern Cal, and before I feel like I even pressed the send button, I got a call from Gustavo, who's the assistant coach here. And he was like, I just wanted to be the first one to talk to you. And he was just such an awesome guy and really made me feel welcomed and wanted by SC.
Scoles ultimately thrived at USC in 2021. She finished 25-4 in the regular season and found herself in the decisive moment that clinched the Trojans' national championship victory.
Sammy Slater last year at the national championship, it was game point and the game came down to our court and she serves the ball and it looks like it's going out of bounds. So I'm thinking, oh, it's definitely out because the girl called it out. And then the line judge pointed in and I was like, what? It's in?
Out! In! USC, welcome back to the top!
I remember just standing up straight and not even trying to fall to the ground and my teammates just tackling us. So it was a super cool moment.
Success followed her into the 2022 season, and in a movie-like ending, Scoles found herself in a similar situation. Match point to the national championship.
And I remember looking at Delaney I think it's gonna come down to our court.
USC superior in the sand! A 4th national championship to the women of Troy!
From a promising indoor volleyball career that started in North Carolina to what turned into 2 beach volleyball national championships in Southern California, it's been a journey of ups and downs for Julia Scoles. During her bleakest moments, Scoles says she leaned on one of her favorite quotes. Sometimes when you're in a dark place, you think you've been buried, but you've actually been planted.
So in that sense, where do you think you've been planted?
Wow, I never thought that I would be happier, healthier, in a better place now than before my concussions. And I am wildly in a better place now than before all of the hardships that I went through. And so I'm thankful for where God's planted me.